is our legacy from the past, what we live today, and what we pass on the future generations. It is a cultivation of our cultural patrimony, which parents handed down to their progeny, that leads them to intellectual and spiritual legacy. Heritage is what we call pamana in Tagalog. It is anything that one values. It may be tangible or intangible, but it is worth of cherishing and nurturing. It is the manifestation of our nation's development through history, and it embodies our unique cultural identity. Cultural heritage tourism, or just heritage tourism, is a branch of tourism oriented towards the cultural heritage of location where tourism is occurring. Traveling to experience the places and activities that authentically represent the stories and the people of the past and present. There are two classifications of heritage. First is cultural heritage. Second is natural heritage. Cultural heritage, which includes historical buildings, monuments, and collections of information on how people live, such as photos, paintings, stories, newspapers, and books. Natural heritage, which includes mountains, rivers, and any landscapes.
Hola! Mabuhay! I am Francis and welcome to Paraiso! Mountain trails provide different levels of challenge with breathtaking views, and those who prepare to keep their feet on the ground will enjoy this leisure activity. Experience the greenery and magnificent nature of Paraiso here in Chaong, Quezon. Once again, hello everyone! I am here to discuss to you the importance of heritage tourism. It helps us to examine our history and tradition and enables us to develop an awareness about ourselves. It helps us to understand and explain why we are the way we are. Heritage is a keystone of our culture that plays an important role in our politics, society, business, and worldview. And for the benefits of heritage tourism, it promotes preservation of local traditions, custom, and culture, help improve the community image, boost awareness of the tourist site, create enjoyable opportunities for both local and visitors, attracted to the cultural arts, history, and preservation, provide research, education, and work placement opportunity for students.
What I wanna see, stars igniting just for me. Wouldn't be here without a dream. You and I were all that I need. Sticks and stones collide. Feel the fire on your skin. Ashes of us in the sky.
Did you know that heritage tourism is a branch of tourism oriented towards the cultural heritage of the location where tourism is occurring? One of the definition of terms that I will discuss is the history. History should refer to a written record or past events relating to Philippine history. People know what happened in the past by looking at things from the past, including sources like books, newspapers, scripts, and letters. Buildings and artifacts like pottery, tools, coins, and human or animal remains. The next definition of terms is the historical shrines. It is referred to historical sites or structures hallowed and revered for their history or association as declared by the National Historical Institutes.
Mabuhay! I'm Dean from University of Nice, Manila, and I'm here to present the tangible heritage. Heritage refers to physical artifacts produced, maintained, and transmitted intergenerational in a society. It includes artistic creations, built heritage such as the buildings and monuments, and other physical or tangible products of human creativity that are invested with cultural significance in a society. And I'm going to show you some examples of tangible heritage. The shrine is located in the heart of Cavite, Kawit, Cavite. The Aguinaldo Shrine is the ancestral home of our first president, Emilio Aguinaldo. Originally, this was owned by his parents, Carlos Aguinaldo y Javier, and Trinidad family y Villanueva. The house was built in 1845 and was finished around 1849. This is where Emilio Aguinaldo was born. It was built as a mansion with 2 floors and was renovated between 1849 and 1919 with the style of American-era Philippine colonial or what we call bahay na bato. Conception Parish is a Roman Catholic church located in the city of Intramuros here in Manila. The church is known to be the oldest church made up of stone in the country. San Agustin Church stands, though, after surviving 2 fires, several earthquakes, and a world war that flattened almost the entire Intramuros. The cathedral serves both as the prime basilica of the Philippines and the highest seat of archbishop in the country. It's the final resting place for the former prelates who have served the Archdiocese of Manila and was also used as a venue for Requiem Mass for former President of the Philippines, Corazon Aquino.
intangible or tangible. And now let me present to you the intangible heritage. What is intangible heritage? Intangible heritage signifies the different practices in a community, and it is an important factor in maintaining cultural diversity in the face of growing globalization. First one, we have this thing called mano or pagmamano. It is an honorary gesture used by young Filipino performed as a sign of respect to elders and a way of requesting a blessing from them. Just like this one. Second example would be the festivals. We have customary celebrating festivals here in the Philippines. It is a way of giving thanks to the patron saint for the abundant blessings or celebrating the start of something. They play an important role in adding structure to our social lives and connecting us with our families and history. The last example would be the translation of the Black Nazarene of Quiapo, Manila. The Black Nazarene is one of the images of Jesus Christ that inspires intense veneration among the dominantly Catholic Filipinos. Every year on January 9, the image is brought out for the commemoration of its translation or arrival at Quiapo Church from another church in Bagong Bayan, where millions of devotees believe that when you touch the venerated statue, will bring you healing, answer prayers, or lead to miracles. Always remember, we have different kinds of intangible cultural heritage here in our country. So we must preserve it because it holds our culture's identity.
And I am Angela Rose L. Hawili from University of the East, Manila. What is Republic Act number 10066? Republic Act number 10066 is an act providing for the protection and conservation of the national cultural heritage, strengthening the National Commission for Culture and Arts, or NCCA, and its affiliated cultural agencies and for other purposes. It is a Philippine law that created the Philippine Registry of Cultural Property into law on March 28, 2009. All registry of cultural properties of the countries are pre-registered by the Philippine Registry of Cultural Property, in which National Commission for Cultural and Arts is mandated to establish and maintain through appropriate cultural agencies and the local government. Any house that has a significant importance to a Filipino culture is declared to be a heritage house. Adaptive reuse shall refer to the utilization of buildings, other built structures, and sites of value for purposes other than that for which they were intended originally, in order to conserve the site, their engineering integrity, and authenticity of design. This is the Emilio Lardizabal House. The entranzuelo is a popular restaurant and the second floor is a bar in Calle Mercader. Anthropological area shall refer to any place where studies of specific ethno-linguistic groups are undertaken. Antique. It is a cultural property found locally which is 100 years in age, more or less. Archaeological area. Any place containing fossils, artifacts, and other cultural, geological, botanical, zoological materials which depict and document culturally relevant paleontological. Marinduque is an archaeological site. It provided vital archaeological finds about the Philippines pre-Spanish era. Built heritage refers to an architectural and engineering structures such as but not limited to bridges, government buildings, houses of ancestry, traditional dwellings, and landscapes with notable historical and cultural significance. Some heritage houses and buildings are still present and conserved here in the town of Buak, province of Marinduque.
the definition of terms of heritage tourism. First is the collector. It refers to the person or institution that acquires the cultural property. The other one is the commission. So commission is referred to NCCA, or what we all call as the National Commission for the Culture and Arts. Next is conservation. It is a process to maintain the cultural property by preserving, conserving, and keeping heritage sites safe. So now we will be defining the importance of the law. The importance of RA 10066 is to provide a protection, preservation, and promotion of heritage sites. Rather than that, it's most important as it will give us a value, knowledge, and aspiration. And of course, mold and ensure our identity as a Filipino. So under the RA 10066, it includes the archives, monuments, museums, art galleries, libraries, and etc. For your better understanding, why not I'll give you one of the examples of those heritage sites here in the Philippines that actually need to protect, preserve, and promote. Hello everyone, I'm Princess. So today we are here in Baclaran. It is located along Rojas Boulevard in Baclaran, Parañaque City, in the southern part of Metro Manila. So Baclaran is famous because it is well known for the Baclaran Church, which houses the national shrine of our Mother of Perpetual Health, dedicated to the Holy Mary herself. Did you know that it is also one of the largest Marian churches in the Philippines that is visited to many Filipino all over the country? Baclaran Church also declared as heritage site and tourist destination by the House of Representatives approved by House Bill 8988. Because according to the Republic Act number 10066, any house that has significant importance to Filipino culture is declared to be a heritage house by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. The importance of this law is to take the necessary steps or programs to conserve and preserve these important heritage sites and protect and secure the thousands of pilgrims and tourists flocking to Baclaran Church. So let's get moving. This church is 63 years old already and was built by Cesar Romero, our conscious senior in 1958 and was blessed by Pope John Paul II during his apostolic visit to Metro Manila in 1981. Alongside of the church is the market, or what we call as Changi. It is an infamous destination because of its wide range of products being sold, from clothes, toys, and many more.
I am Ikai and I am a proud GS tourism.
What is intangible cultural heritage? Intangible cultural heritage is a practice, representation, expression, knowledge, or skill considered by UNESCO to be part of a place's cultural heritage. Buildings, historic places, monuments, and artifacts are cultural property. It consists of non-physical, intellectual wealth, such as folklore, customs, beliefs, traditions, knowledge, and language. It is an important factor in maintaining cultural diversity in the face of growing globalization and an important factor in maintaining cultural diversity in globalization. Hudhud chants of the Isbao consists of narrative chants traditionally performed by the Isbao community, which is well known for its rice heritage extending over the highlands of the northern islands of the Philippine archipelago. It is practiced during the rice growing season, at harvest time, and at funeral wakes and rituals. Tagging rituals and games enacted among communities to ensure abundant harvest and prosperity. They promote social solidarity, provide entertainment, and mark the start of a new agricultural cycle. The Rangen epic of the Maranao people of Lake Lanao.
is an ancient epic song that encompasses a wealth of knowledge of the Maranao people who live in the Lake Lanao region of Mindanao. This southernmost island of the Philippine archipelago is the traditional homeland of the Maranao, one of the country's three main Muslim groups. The Buklog Thanksgiving Ritual System of the Subanen. An elaborate Thanksgiving ritual system of the Subanen, an indigenous people in the southern Philippines. The head of a host family, usually a village chief called Kimwan, plans the ritual system to express gratitude to the spirits. The ritual ensures harmony among family, clan, and community members, as well as among the human, natural, and spiritual forces.
I am Christine, proud BS Tourism.
And I'm here to discuss the examples of intangible cultural heritage.
The craft tradition handmade weaving in Upper Egypt, also known as Said, is a complex process that requires time, effort, patience, and practice. Many steps and techniques are needed to achieve the final product. Men and women have used their inherited knowledge and artistic talent to create embroidered textiles as a family legacy and profession. Yoga, which is an ancient practice traditionally and taught by gurus. Yoga is based on the unification of the mind, body, and soul to improve mental, physical, and spiritual well-being through meditation, controlled breathing, and other techniques. Bailes Chinos are brotherhoods of musicians who express their faith through music, dance, and singing in the context of commemoration festivities. It is mainly from the area known as the Norte Chico to the central region of Chile and was organized by men from rural areas. These dances consist of jumps and flexing movements of the legs, performed by instrumental music played on drums and flutes of pre-Columbian origin. In the Belgian community, beer making is highly considered and plays a vital role in daily life and festive events. Many kinds of beer are made with different types of fermentation and have developed a sustainable production process. Nogako is the main form of Japanese theater and has influenced puppet theater as well as kabuki. Nogako theater integrates masks, costumes, and various props in dance-based performance. It encompasses two types of theater, No and Kyogen. The distinctive masks for which No is renowned are used for roles of ghosts, women, children, and older people, while in Kyogen, it relies less on masks and comic dialogue.
The culture of the Philippines comprises a blend of traditional Filipino and Spanish Catholic traditions with the influences of America and other parts of Asia. Mabuhay! I am Regine Magno from University of the East Manila, and I am here at Lumang Gapan in Gapan City, Nueva Ecija, which is one of the example of heritage sites in our country. Though many tourists dub this area as the Little Vegan of Gapan, I am sure that it can be known for its own merit. A homage to the old world beauty of the city, as well as a cultural prize for succeeding generations. Tagpuan sa Lumang Gapan lets you take a step back into the past. Impressively maintained ancestral houses by Filipino personalities such as Nida Blanca, Yula Valdez, and Jay Taruk. Cobblestone streets and intricate architecture. Most of the houses in the street today are still well preserved and most of them are still being used as a residence. The Lumang Gapan Tourism Project was led by Gapan Mayor Emerson Emeng Pascual, reviving the historic roots of this city. Many people from neighboring provinces now visit these timeless ancestral houses. Furthermore, Gapan City may be the oldest town in Nueva Ecija, but Gapan held tremendous promise not only to natural resources with agro-based industries, but also to people which help them sustain their living. The UNESCO declares that there are two approaches to preserve cultural heritage. One is to record it in tangible form and conserve it in an archive. The other is to preserve it in a living form by ensuring its transmission to the next generation. Heritage conservation plays a major role in helping define the identity we proudly showcase today by reminding people of how prosperous our past has been. Our built heritage is evidence of our political history and socio-economic development, ultimately mirroring our shared values and the excellence and creativity of the Filipinos. Protecting these should be a priority for the Philippines given its rich history. And very engaged community stakeholders that promise all-out support to initiatives done the right way.
Now let's talk about the steps on how Filipino heritage is protected. First is protecting through education and supporting the cause by means of researching, reading, or traveling. By educating ourselves through research, we get to understand the heritage site, and by traveling to where that heritage site is, enhance that knowledge because we get to experience its culture firsthand. Next is supporting organizations advancing its cause. We can show support on local heritage by signing up to organizations like Heritage Conservation Society. By volunteering, we are promoting and preserving our local cultural as well as historical sites. Third is heritage mapping. Creating a heritage map is one way of preserving heritage site by identifying and recognizing cultural resources as well as used to build its community. Fourth would be holding and attending seminars. Another way of showing support to our local heritage is to participate in seminars and conferences to meet other people that supports heritage tourism and aims to create goals or action plans for our heritage site. Next is preserving by documentation, events, and campaigns. Another step would be promoting by raising awareness and encouraging dialogue through blogs and social media posts. We can share our knowledge of local heritage to others by becoming active and engaging conversation about our heritage and culture through social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, participating in festivals. One exciting way of appreciating local culture is by joining festivals. Supporting other culture is best shown when we get to experience their festival. Fourth step would be promoting our own Filipino heritage. Promoting our own Filipino heritage can be done in different ways such as heritage trail, heritage walk, heritage newspapers, street plays, and even promotion of heritage and education. Let us start with heritage trail. One way of educating other people on local culture is creating a heritage trail. Heritage trail are signs or map that shows visitors and tourists, history, as well as relevant stories in our area to raise awareness. Next is Heritage Walk. Heritage Walk is also one way of creating awareness among the public. But Heritage Walk does not only bring public closer to past heritage, but offers a long way too in providing intangible enticements for conservation. Heritage Walk also obtains knowledge on one's culture, customs, traditions, philosophy, and rituals. Now let's talk about Heritage Award. Heritage Award is one way of promoting cultural heritage. One of the most prestigious awards given to a cultural or natural site in the country is the UNESCO Asia-Pacific Award. This award acknowledges exemplary efforts by individuals and organizations to restore, conserve structures, places, and properties of heritage value in the region. It encourages other property owners to undertake conservation projects within their communities, either independently or by seeking help to private corporations.
Here in the Philippines, the NCCA or the National Commission for the Culture and Arts initiated the Philippine Heritage Award in 2018. This award will be an annual conservation and recognition for the special achievements and important contributions in the area of heritage preservation and conservation efforts. Among the winners were the Rizal Park Hotel in the province of Magalang, Pampanga for safeguarding tangible cultural heritage. Next is the street play. Street play provides a common platform to create awareness, messages, and make the public understand the issues related to tangible heritage. Another tradition that has been ongoing in the Philippines, usually in the provinces, are the street plays, usually performed by the volunteer students, residents, and organized by the communities. Street plays are historical drama with religious themes. They usually being performed live for several days. The other, perhaps more representation of Filipino pride is the zarzuela. It is a spoken word or poetry of nationalistic themes, which are usually against the Philippine colonizers. Next is heritage newspaper. Heritage newspaper is one way of promoting heritage and culture through printed form. Heritage newspaper is created by the Arts and Cultural Department that writes articles about local culture. Here in the Philippines, there are local publishers that print heritage newspapers, usually in the provinces. But nationwide, Manila Times, Manila Bulletins, and Inquirer devotes culture and history on their paper. They also have special features during historic anniversaries that tell stories. This printed form engages the local communities and citizens to participate and be part of the historical.
The city of San Jose del Monte is the largest town in the province of Bulacan. It is called the Balcony of Metropolis because it was the first city here in Bulacan. It was founded in 1752 and used to be part of Maykawayan. During 1751, the church was only made of light materials, and it was later reconstructed into a stone church in 1842, and it was finished in 1854. The parish certainly witnessed the past and able to survive over the years. Like other 19th century church, it has also undergone renovations and enhancement to maintain its elegant and classic architecture. Throughout the wars that it witnessed, the church was burned thrice. The first was during the Spanish-Filipino War in 1896 to 1898. Second was during the Japanese-Filipino War in 1941 to 1942. And lastly, during the Hoksakdal Rebellion in 1960s. Today, the church is remodeled, but it still has the antiquity and the original bell tower is still there. The massive wall of the church was constructed with adobe blocks, while its windows have stained glass that enhances the exterior look of the church, which illuminates the interior with different colors. Adobe blocks were used to build the massive wall of the church, while the windows that have stained glass enhances the exterior look and illuminate the interior with a hue of colors, a kaleidoscope of light.
traditions, heritage laws of different countries, and most importantly, our local needs. The final version signed by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo for RA number 10066 last March 2010 was the product of almost 8 working versions since 1994. This law aims to protect, preserve, conserve, and promote the nation's cultural heritage, its property and histories, and the ethnicity of local communities. It also aims to establish and strengthen cultural institutions and protect cultural workers and ensure their professional development and well-being. Since this act intends to strengthen the role of the National Commissions for Culture and Arts, NCCA, the powers of the commissions and cultural agencies are identified as follows. Power to issue a cease and desist order. Power to issue compulsory repair order, visitorial powers. Power to deputize other government agencies. Power to recover cultural properties. Roles of cultural agencies. It provides performance and exhibitions, venues for various local and international productions and programs, giving agency the rights for the preservations because we all know that many governments against to the agencies. Development and promotions of the Philippine arts and culture, promote arts and culture in the Philippines, control corporations established to preserve.
Organizations and agencies that work to protect cultural heritage and advocate on behalf of cultural heritage issues. First is U.S. Committee of the Blue Shield. The United States Committee of the Blue Shield was formed in 2006 in response to heritage catastrophes around the world. 2 is ASOR Cultural Heritage Initiative. The ASOR Cultural Heritage Initiatives implements cultural property protection by documenting damage, promoting global awareness, planning emergency and post-war responses. The third is Archaeological Institute of America. The AIA promotes archaeological inquiry and public understanding of the material record of the human past to foster an appreciation of diverse cultural and shared humanity. Fourth is the Society of America Archaeology, or SAA, is an international organization dedicated to the research, interpretation, and protection of the archaeological heritage of the Americas. Fifth is the Foundation of American Institute for Conservation of Historic and Artistic Works, or FAIC, supports conservation education, research, and outreach activities that increase understanding of our global cultural heritage. 6 is Canadian Heritage Information Network, or CHIN. The Canadian Heritage Information Network is to promote development, presentation, and preservation of Canada's digital heritage content for current and future generation of Canadians. Voyage is also known as Our Lady of Antipolo, and the Virgin of Antipolo is a 7th century Roman Catholic wooden image of the Blessed Virgin Mary venerated in the Philippines. The shrine attracts millions of pilgrims annually, especially on the eve of Juan B. The church was completed in 1632 but suffered severe damage in 1631 when the Sanglich or Chinese set fire to the church. In a revolt, it was restored afterwards to it was damaged by the 1645 Luzon earthquake and other earthquakes in 1824 and 1862. Nevertheless, the church became a popular pilgrimage site as many devotees paid reverence to Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage, including Philippine national hero and polymath Jose Rizal, who visited the shrine as a boy with his father, Francisco Mercado, on 6 June 1868. Towards the end of the Second World War in 1945, the church was destroyed by Allied bombardment meant to liberate the area from the Japanese imperial control. After the war, a campaign was organized to build a new church with a fundraising committee headed by former First Lady Aurora Quezon and Antipolo Parish priest Francisco Avendano. Architect Jose L. de Ocampo was commissioned to design the new shrine, which was completed in 1954. On January 14, 1954, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines declared the new Antipolo Church as declared the national shrine to Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. The church was elevated to the status of cathedral on June 25, 1983, upon the canonical erection of the Diocese of Antipolo.
I am there, and I am proud BS Tourism.
Heritage Conservation Society. It's an organization advocating to protect and preserve their cultural and historical sites. Next is Grupo Kalinangan, recently launched for the fundraising campaign. They are giving donations in ayuda to provide to those who are affected in COVID-19 pandemic. Many people can provide also using online donations via GCash, PayMaya, PayPal, etc. Next one is the International Council on Monuments and Sites. Their role is to promote their theory and scientific methodology as they conserve and protect their landmarks and monuments. Next is the Historic Preservation Division. Their project is activities and geared towards collaboration and partnership with other government agencies. They are also promoting Filipino heritage through preservation, protection, and development of historic sites. Next is the Philippine Department of Tourism, the executive department of the Philippine government that is responsible for the regulation of the Philippine tourism industry. They started to have a private initiative to promote their travel destination. They are organized by the Philippine Tourist and Travel in 1950. Next one is Philippine Cultural Foundation. It's located in Bayanihan Arts and Events. The foundation aims to preserve and present Philippine heritage and culture for the future generations to the state of Florida. And the last part is the community museums in the Philippines. The goal is to enhance the nature and culture in the country because of the community level wherein most people are introduced to the programs of museums. They are planned properly by the community museum so that the people see how important natural and cultural heritage is.
sites are designed by UNESCO for having cultural, historical, scientific, or other form of significance. The sites are judged to contain cultural and natural heritage around the world, considered to be of outstanding value to humanity. There are a total of 1,092 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world, including 209 natural sites and 845 which have a cultural and historical significance, all recognized as being internationally important and deserving special protection. And these are the top 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
Columbian Monument, Egypt. Machu Picchu, Peru. Great Wall of China. Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Kathmandu, Bali, Nepal. Taj Mahal, India. Cape Flora Region, South Africa. Yellowstone National Park, USA. Petra, Jordan. And Bruges, Belgium.
Nasa kinakatayuan ko ngayon ang Himlayon o libingan ni General Emilio D. Itinatag ito noong 1875-1899. Dito nakalagang ang mga labi ni General Emilio Cinto na utak ng katipunan. Tagapayo at kanang kamay ni Bonifacio.
Good day, everyone! We are from University of the East Manila, from Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management. Vamos Turismo!